This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
About to bring gold back to Lawrence County.
Your home for the County of Champions.
And how sweet it is! A state gold medal for the Union Scotties!
And the Neshannock Lancers are your 2A softball champions. The trophy lifted high.
The 10th seed Union Scotties are WPIAL champions.
They're not a Cinderella story, a championship story here.
And your 2023 WPIL 2A Girls Champions, the Shenango Wildcats.
The pitch from Bruce, here it comes. Swing and miss! Union wins it! Union Scotties have rallied to win the WPIAL Championship.
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
7 seconds. Working down inside and alley-oop to Young. Good.
She'll strike it and score!
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Coming to you live from the Cavelli Fieldhouse for WPIAL playoff action. Boys basketball, Class 1A first-round game. The 5-seed Union Scotties taking on the 12-seed Hillel Academy Heat. And is the only game in the WPIAL taking place tonight as we literally tip off the 2024 playoff season. With Eric Thomas alongside, I'm James Dotson. Eric, hey, can't ask for much more than this. You get to tip it off on Friday night. We'll push it up 24 hours, and we are the only game going on in WPIAL country here this evening.
Yeah, nice job by the WPIAL to work with Hillel. Obviously, they didn't want to play tomorrow night because of the Jewish holiday. They're a Jewish academy, so nice gesture. They were thinking about possibly moving this thing to Saturday. Get it over with tonight. Get your Friday and your holiday under your belt there and see what we can do here. Look, we don't know a lot about this Hillel team. Obviously, they're a bit of a relative unknown. If not for an article today about them, there might be a little bit less known about them, but we know this. They're shorthanded tonight, down to a 6-man and a starter. It's going to be a very tall task for them to hang with this Union team that seems pretty focused. Just watching them warm ups tonight, a far cry from how they ended the regular season with a section title on the line here last week.
And certainly not the team that they've had the last 2 years that were WPIAL runner-ups. It's still a very quality team that's looking to make another run to the Peterson Events Center. What we're going to do is we're going to take our first break here during the pregame show. When we come back, we will have a conversation both with Hillel coach Yoni Eglash and Union coach Mark Stanley when we return here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
Cold winds blowing, temperatures dropping, and snow is beginning to fall. And then your furnace goes out. LCAP's LIHEAP Crisis Program is here to help. If your furnace is blowing cold air, not turning on, or not reaching the desired temperature, help is right around the corner, whether it needs fixed or replaced. For information, call the Department of Healthy Homes at 724-656-0090. LCAP's Healthy Home programs are the key to safer living.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
Back on the pregame show, get a chance to talk talk with Hillel head coach Yoni and Glash. Hey, just talks about this team. Hey, it's your first time in the playoffs. It's free basketball for you guys here this year in your second year.
Yeah, I mean, going into the year, I wasn't sure if we were exactly a playoff team, but we're just happy to be here. They worked their butts off, and this is just like a celebration of the season, really. I mean, we're playing with house money. Yeah. It's really every game, so we're just going to go out there, play our hardest, and, have fun.
Talk about some of the kids who kind of made this whole thing happen to even get this program off the ground in these last 2 years.
Yeah, Noah Mazzagori, only kid who showed up to spring practices for straight. No kidding. And there were kids who said they wanted to play the next year. I mean, they ended up being on the team, and some of them are still on the team. Yeah. They just didn't show up out of just the culture before he came. And Yona Itzkowitz, too, sophomore, leading scorer, really stepped up. 4 points a game last year, 19 this year. I mean, that doesn't just happen overnight. He puts in work, so.
That's awesome. Yeah. Coach, real quick, what's the main thing you want to see from your team here tonight?
I just want them to play hard for everyone. For everyone in Squirrel Hill, I know people are watching. Some people are here. I mean, the school's pretty small, so having this amount of people is it's a good crowd for us. So, I just want to see them play hard and just have fun out there, and just whatever happens, just heads high after this.
Oh, way to go, Coach. You have fun, too. Thank you so much.
You.
Go get it. That's Coach Yoni Glash of Hillel Academy. The Heat here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse taking on the Union Scotties. We'll be back in a moment with more of the pregame show here at LCSportsNet.com, powered by LCAP.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition. Congratulations to our January LCAP Team of the Month. The Lawrence County SportsNet proud to honor the Neshannock Competitive Spirit Squad as January's LCAP Team of the Month for their WPIAL 2A Large Squad Championship and third place finish at the state competition. Congratulations to Coach Colleen Daughtry and the Neshannock Competitive Spirit Team, our January LCAP Team of the Month. Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Casey Wilson of Laurel Wrestling as the January LGKG Red Zone Male Athlete of the Month. LC SportsNet is also proud to honor Aaron Capavo of Mohawk and Leah Crayrup of Wilmington as our January LGKG Red Zone Female Co-Athletes of the Month. Congratulations, best of luck to Laurel's Casey Wilson, Mohawk's Aaron Capavo, and Wilmington's Leah Crayrup, the LGKG Athlete of the Month, presented by the Red Zone.
Back here on the pregame show, Union against Hillel coming up here in a few minutes. We're talking with Union head coach Mark Stanley. And Coach, hey, it's another playoff run. It's another home game in the playoffs. Let's talk about what that means to be playing in the playoffs at home here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse.
Well, it's always nice. You don't got to go on the road. You get the first one, familiar faces. Kids can go home after school, get off their feet. So it's always a plus. A little earlier than we've played in the last couple years, but still nice to get one here and see if we can start off on the right foot.
With the game having to be moved up 24 hours, how did that change your game plan and your getting set up and ready for this game Thursday night versus Friday?
Well, we had a shoot around on Monday, and we were in the process of the shoot around, and we did some running on Tuesday, more shooting, and got the call during practice, and all that did was changed our, we skipped a Tuesday routine and went into our regular game, 2 practices before, so it worked out. And like I said, I kind of like it. If we can get off on the, if we can get off and get the win, then I can go down and see Monessen tomorrow. But if not, then I don't have to go to Monessen. But I hope I'm making that trip.
Coach, the last time you were on the court here, this section finale at home obviously didn't go your way. Is there what you can learn something big from that game that could help propel you further along playoff time now?
Well, I thought we came out flat early. Part of that, didn't start Lucas out of the gate. I think it got us off on the wrong foot. We got down 5-0. But still a lot of game to go. But it just goes to show you can't come out like that in those types of games against the better teams, because they'll get you. And to Rochester's credit, Rochester's coming to play, and they're hard nosed. And I give the Lawyer kid a lot of credit what he was able to do with Lucas, and they sagged a guy off in the middle. I'd like to get another shot at him, but we'll see that, down the road. But you can't take anybody lightly. And not that we took Rochester lightly, but you got to come out intense.
I know you're going to do the same tonight. Final question. Tell us a little bit about Hillel and how you're going to try to attack here against the Heat.
Well, I think the key's pace. I think they want to kind of walk it up. They sit in the zone, and you know that's not us. We're going to try to force the issue. We're going to keep guys back, keep running at them. Their bench isn't very deep, so I think they want to keep it, walk it up, and we want to play fast. So it'll be a game of wills. If we can get out early and get up on them, I think, much to our advantage, but we'll see. You never know.
Thanks, Coach Stanley. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And we'll be back after this with tip-off from the Cavelli Fieldhouse, number 5 Union, number 12 Hillel Academy, here on lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP. When injuries get you sidelined, don't trust just anyone to get you back on the field. Visit Health in Motion Physical Therapy in Shenango Township. They want to get you back to the top of your game as quickly as possible with certified orthopedic and manual therapies. At Health in Motion, you receive quality one-on-one time with a board-certified physical therapist. Get the next generation of physical therapy to help in your recovery. Health in Motion is the first PT clinic in Western Pennsylvania to use the Wpial, the neurobioelectric stimulator, in their therapies. Their technologies can reduce your time on the sideline from 3 or 4 weeks to just 3 or 4 days. Don't wait for months to see improvement. Notice a difference after your first visit to Health in Motion, keeping you moving.
Back here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse, just a few minutes away from tip-off between the Union Scotties and the Hillel Academy Heat. It is number 5 versus number 12 here in WPIAL country. Real quick, you don't know much about this team, and you had a bit of a shortened time. What's the main thought process if you're Coach Stanley leading into this game?
Well, I honestly think that the switch to a Thursday plays into their favor a little bit, and that might be a problem as far as your preparation. You've been looking at this bracket since Tuesday. It was going to be a quick turnaround anyway, going from Tuesday, finding out sort of midday Tuesday to playing on Friday, but you had enough time, and they did their scouting. They probably went around and sort of figured out maybe who they were going to be around and all that, and got film on every team. But I just think the fact that it got switched to a day earlier, it's sort of an advantage to the visitor in this case. But the other thing I would be a little bit concerned about is let's see what Hillel does on the boards first, because Union really struggled against Rochester in that game to decide the section on the glass. I think a lot of that had to do with Lucas Stanley coming off the bench, and you heard Coach Stanley talk about that whole situation with senior night and everything like that. And they need to get into a rhythm, but that's going to start with rebounding the basketball in this game. And if Hillel poses any kind of problem to them early in this game, they may be able to hang around for a little bit. Union's going to have to be a lot better on the glass tonight.
Yeah, they are. Union coming in overall at 12-10, the number 2 team out of Section 1. Hillel Academy with a 7-9 overall record, 2-8 in Section 3. That's the section that has the top 2 seeds, though, in the bracket. We'll take a look at the bracket here after our national anthem and starting lineups. We'll take a look at the full Class 1A bracket before we get to the opening tip. As you heard what Coach Eglass said about the fact this is going to be the biggest crowd that they've seen as a team, no questions asked. They're going to see a spectacle here, too, because you know how fun it is here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse.
I can't even imagine what they're going to see here when they flip the lights down and do the introduction with the lights and everything like that. And the other thing I can't really get a good feel for is how does this team feel in this kind of moment? They haven't been here. He's had to basically build this program from the ground up. It isn't easy doing that at any other school, but let alone one where, we're told before the game tonight, starters missing because they're going to mock trial. How many times have you heard that for a varsity team for a first ever playoff game?
As we now will pause for the playing of our national anthem. Your national anthem here at the Cavelli Fieldhouse, and now we'll have more of the light show as we get ready for tonight's starting lineups. Are brought to you by Doran Concrete. Visit them online at doranconcrete.com for your free estimate. And we do have a incredible all-star crew of officials, including the mayor, Tony Court, as well as Matt Barker and Robert Kerr. We're going to send it right back over to our PA announcer for today's starting lineups. So there's your starting five here for both teams. For Hillel Academy, it's both Yona and Nate Itzkowitz, as well as Davidson, Azagure, and Canal. For the Scotties, Thomas, Gettings, Jonke, Blakely, and Stanley. Real quick, a works in progress key to the game for both these squads for Mr. Eric Thomas.
Yeah, I said it early, rebounding for Union's going to be a key. I think they expect to focus on crashing the glass and really controlling the tempo of this game. Easiest thing you can do offensively is get extra possessions. And, you know, let's see what the moment's like here for Hillel. This is the biggest stage that they've ever been on. This is a very young program. This is a program not a lot of people know about, so they want to make some noise here tonight and hang around, but how starstruck they are at the moment, we'll see.
Union will get the opening tip as the Wpial playoffs underway here for 2024. And into that zone defense, kind of a blob 2-3-3-2. They go right to the high post. Blakely. Return pass, actually skip past him, looking for Andrew Gettings. Stanley drives himself in. Tip pass into the corner, does make its way to Blakely. His shot short, no good, and a defensive rebound on the first defensive possession for Hillel.
They're going to play a lot of zone tonight, you'd expect, simply because they're shorthanded, and that's going to be the key. Try to keep guys out of foul trouble. They're going to have to limit what they do man-to-man to try to avoid that.
Yona Itzkowitz shot maybe partially blocked as it went off the side of the backboard. Good tough defense from Lucas Stanley. Now Thomas, he hesitates, he looks to drive in. Good defense, double team, even triple team. Good skip pass down low, Jonke, and one.
Well, Braylon Thomas, we know, has got excellent field vision as a quarterback, but he's shown off the court vision on that play. Nobody paying any attention to Jonke. Thomas, as we've seen him do in other sports, threading the needle that time. And Jonke's a guy, James, who didn't do much in that game against Rochester, and he had opportunities to be a little bit more aggressive, and it's good to see him get off to a fast start in this game.
He completes the three-point play. Dane Jonke makes it 3-0, and you'll see the full court pressure. Union trying to up the pace quickly. Yoni Canal across the timeline gets it to Azagure, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds, ran out of real estate, and it'll be turnover to the Scotties. And you heard Coach Stanley talk about him a little bit in the pregame. He's real impressed with this Noam Azaguri, the senior who's basically made this team. He's a quality player.
Well, they might be down a couple of guys, but they're not down their two leading scorers tonight. Union's going to know that, but Itzkowitz and Azaguri only averaging 16 points a game, but he's the second leading scorer on this team. Without him, this team may not even be in this position.
Braylon Thomas hits his 29th three-pointer of the year. He's come on strong of late, especially from beyond the arc. 6-0 in the early going for the 5-seeded Scotties playing at home. Going away from the screen is Yona Itzkowitz. Stops on a dime, swings it over to the corner. Azagure closed out by Blakely. Nice drive up and under, can't get it to go. Out of bounds on the rebound, it will stay with Hillel. What a quick first step to the hoop there by the senior.
Yeah, it really was showing off his speed, showing off his agility. And, you know, we've only played a minute and a half here, a minute and a couple seconds here, but Hillel showing that they're not really, they look comfortable. They're moving the ball well, their spacing's good, they're trying to work their offense. They've been a little sloppy with the ball times like you see there, but they look pretty comfortable for a team that's never been in this position.
Yeah, no kidding. And I think Coach said it perfectly. They're playing with house money right now. They're going to go and just try to enjoy the show as best as possible and hopefully learn for future years.
Yeah, house money's dangerous, especially if I'm the guy at the table.
Remind me not to ever take you down to the Rivers then. With the ball, Yoni Canal being guarded there by Jonke. Gets a high screen, trying to drive in, and he's going to lose possession as it was stolen away by Stanley. Thomas, step back, another skip pass. This time finds Lucas open for three. In and out, no good. Flying for the rebound was Gettings, but it's ripped away nicely there by Yoni Canal.
Stanley wants to get off to a fast start tonight, and his lack of starting and lack of minutes early in that game against Rochester, I think really affected the flow for this Union team on both ends. They really needed his scoring punch, and they could have used him earlier in that game defensively.
He's going to pick up the foul here. And I wondered how that was going to happen with senior night. We knew he wasn't going to start, but how was that going to affect it? Because he came off the bench all through last year's run to the state semifinals. So it was a question to me of, okay, is it just going to be business as usual? But he really, so many shots in that game, felt like the lid was on the basket.
And you wonder when guys come off the bench, too, what that does the next year when they become a starter. Can they go the whole time? Do they have the endurance to do that? He's shown no ill effects of adjusting to that role in another year as the big contributor for this team.
Nice no-look pass to find the cutter. Thomas to Stanley for two. He's on the board.
And this is where Hillel, obviously you don't want to be.
Good drive there. Got Blakely flat-footed. Faked the pass and went in. Now a chance for a couple of free throws for Azagure. But like you said there, Eric, not where you want to be down 8-0, but still playing hard.
No, not where you want to be, but at the same time, to be fearless enough to go at the bucket, try to get a high percentage shot, get some points. Interesting, they put nobody on the blocks. Now, I wonder if that's because they're more concerned about fouls underneath, no ticky-tack fouls, try to play it safe. They're just going to concede the rebound here if he misses.
Yoni Eglash, a Taylor Alderdice high school graduate, his second season as the head coach, just 23 years of age, getting it done as the head coach. And heard about how excited he was about some of his players and what they've done in the offseason, especially Azagure leading things off as Gettings three-pointer rattles in and out. So 0 for 3 from downtown, or excuse me, 1 for 4 now is Union from beyond the arc.
Slapping that pressure on and
poked away from behind by Stanley. Thought he might have gotten his second foul, instead got it all clean, and he's going to be rewarded with the lay-in.
It's going to be dangerous when Hillel faces his trap. They haven't seen much of the athleticism that Union can present. Remember, they didn't play Amani either time. They forfeited because of scheduling.
Yeah, I'll get into that. They actually haven't played Amani at all in the 2 years in this cycle. As Azagure drives in, it's going to pinball around. Last touch by the Scotties, but you can again see the athleticism of Noah Azagure. It helps when you got 2 coaches for 1 player all through the spring practices too.
It certainly does, and I like his fearlessness here early on. He's trying to get some high percentage buckets for his team.
Return pass into the corner for Yona Itzowitz. Passes on the shot, drives in, and he's going to get tripped up. It'll be the 3rd foul against the Scotties here in the opening quarter.
And don't think that Hillel doesn't recognize that. And trying to get these guys into the bonus. I mean, we got half the quarter left, and Union's already got 3 fouls. Keep attacking him if you're Hillel.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Coach Stanley talked about was the pace. A good hesitation move. How about that? The nifty up and under. Wow. Noah Azagure as advertised.
Yeah, this kid's a player, and they're going to lean on him. He's shown here early on he is not afraid to attack these guys. Now here's the zone again. Union hasn't proven they can shoot the ball outside with relative effectiveness early on. They're going to keep going at it, though.
Yeah, Blakely spotting up. This one off the mark, out of bounds. Last touch by Hillel. So 1 for 5 from downtown in the early going, but go back to that up and under move from Noah Azagure. Holy cow.
Yeah, nifty move showing, and Mark Stanley said he could really play with anybody. He could play for us. He could start for us if he was here, and that's – you got to lean on those guys. He's the one that doesn't seem to care about the moment right now.
Great block in the lane, but stick-to-itiveness from Braylon Thomas puts it back up and in.
He's going to be a tough matchup. Size, he's got the physicality. Of course, we know he's a great athlete. Not a lot of size in this Union team, and pure height on this Union team, and he's going to be relied on to really crash the glass. As we said, that's one of our keys.
First sub of the game in for the Scotties is Rocco Galmarini, and he takes a look as Yanni Canal makes his way to the hoop.
Hillel's getting to the bucket here early on. They're challenging Union inside. They're getting to the bucket, trying to get those high percentage shots. Don't want to shoot themselves out of a game early, playing safe, conservative defense with the zone. Union has not hit many shots. This has worked out pretty well for them here in the first couple of minutes.
And you got about the entire student body here, literally. Only 46 people in the high school for Hillel Academy. Looks like most of them are here making the trip if they're not at the mock trial.
Why not?
Galmarini for three, rattles in and out. We've had 3 or 4 of those already in the early going.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for Union to be in. And, you know, this Hillel team may not have the firepower that Union has seen, but you don't want them hanging around. You don't want them building that confidence throughout the whole first half, and then all of a sudden you look up and it's a 2-3-point game at the half, and you're wondering, how the heck are we in this position?
Azagure kills the dribble, can swing it over to Canal. Canal, nice crossover dribble right to the rack, off the window, and one. Lost to Yamaka. Doesn't matter. He's got a 3-point play coming.
But see, what are they doing? They're going at the bucket. They're going right at the teeth of this Union defense. They are challenging them. This is a smart game plan. Don't waste your outside shots. They're penetrating. They're passing the ball very well. Again, the spacing's pretty good out there. Haven't taken many low percentage shots. Got the top scorer for Union in foul trouble early on.
That is the second, you're right, on Lucas Stanley. He is still out there, excuse me. Pass back up to Thomas, lead down to 3.
They're not afraid to cheat a little bit, and you just saw Davidson there going after Braylon Thomas. Not afraid to cheat a little bit on defense here. Take some chances, but they're being smart about it.
And another nice no-look pass. 3 assists already for Braylon Thomas. Stanley the recipient again.
Keep going to him inside. He and Thomas, the 2 bigger guys, size-wise.
Straight to the rack, through a couple of defenders, this time off the mark, though, for Azagure.
Still going right at the bucket, though.
Stanley, skip pass back up for Grayson Blakely, open for 3. This one finds its way down.
Good open look. Concentrating on the inside presence, and then they're able to kick it out, and Hillel's going to go for a timeout here. They played pretty well, though, I would say, through the first almost 7 minutes here. This has been a spirited effort, and they're making Union work on the floor. That's about all you could ask for them right now.
Yeah, they trail by 8 as they take their Ponch Insurance timeout. Love the life you live, worry-free. Visit them online for your home, auto, business, or life insurance quote. I'll tell you what, you're exactly right. They are living worry-free right now because this is a chance to just, hey, go out, play some ball, and you heard Coach say, we're all going to have a little bit of fun. And I think that's exactly the right mentality to have. Let's go and let's learn something and enjoy the process.
And not worry about the outcome. I mean, they obviously you want to win the game. I mean, there's no question about that. Be the biggest win in school history if they could do it. But just not worry about that outcome. Just go play your game. And listen, they've already won. They got in this position. They didn't win a game in the section last year. 2 of them this year. That's a huge step for a program that basically has no traction right now.
Yeah, only in their second year in the WPIAL. We're in essentially a rec league, kind of an independent schedule style of setup there before that, as Azagure tries to go up off the window, missed everything. May have been partially blocked on the way up. He was triple teamed really as he went to the hoop. Return pass, Stanley trying to knock one down, in and out, no good. Rebound for Nate Itzkowitz. That's what this Union team can do, though. When they start shooting from downtown and knocking them down, we saw it in the playoffs last year. One point they hit, I think it was 7 straight 3-point attempts against Carleton. Nice spin move from Itzkowitz, but off-balance shot as he was well defensed there by Blakely. Stanley finds Galmarini cheating down the court, but couldn't get the bunny to go. Kind of rushed the shot.
Hillel should, and I know that they've really worked to get at the bucket. They're not wasting any time.
No, they're not. They like to go up and down the court. You wondered how that would play because that's also Union strength. It has a Gure. Quick first step again, cuts the lead down to 6.
Feeling out process here. I'm not sure that I would have left Union with the final shot attempt if I'm Hillel, but you got to keep playing your game.
Stanley with 5 seconds backs his way in, kicks it out for a Galmarini. Left wing 3, can't get the bounce. Rebound Itzkowitz, and the first quarter comes to an end. Hillel impressive, though they trail by 6, 17-11 at the end of 1. Back in a moment at the lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PenOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
Does your blueprint not match the vision of your building project? Not with Creative Edge Architecture. From concept to creation, Jeff Measle will help tackle the complex problems, creating design solutions and construction experience. Creative Edge gives you the edge design and construction meet.
In workers' compensation, my clients are oftentimes not receiving their wage loss. They're not receiving their medical expenses. LGKG, they come to us so that we can put them in a position to pay their bills. If we're keeping our promises, our clients are getting the justice they deserve.
17-11 Scotties lead as we start the second quarter, but the shooting percentage is all in favor of Hillel, although Union did take a lot more shots in the quarter.
Yeah, 7-16 shooting for Union in the first 8 minutes. Hillel just 4 of 9, did not attempt a three-point shot. Union was 2 of 9 from distance, and Hillel, surprisingly enough, out-rebounding Union in the first quarter as well.
Hillel in the road blues. They will get first possession here of quarter number 2, and a deep three. First three ball taken, or second one of the game, taken as Azagure off the mark there.
You are correct. They did that as their second attempt.
Thomas makes his way in the lane, poked away once, poked away twice, still on the floor, flying back 4. He ends up getting it. Got up to Mike Gunn, who just checked in to start the quarter. His shot no good. Somehow Blakely, the one who gets the offensive rebound. Jonke misfires. He follows his shot. Third attempt now. This time Stanley in and out. And at this point, with all the shots that aren't falling for the Scotties, you have to start thinking, are you getting shades of remembering the Rochester game where shots didn't go, and on the other end, they're all falling. Canal now with 7.
They are an excellent passing team. They're unselfish, this Hillel team has shown early on.
Back into the zone, lead down to 4. Blakely finds it to the high post. Stanley, foul line jumper, short, no good. One and done.
And Hillel controlling the glass here, James. That's not a good sign if you're Union. This is a shorter Hillel team in terms of bench, but also just size. They are not taking risky shots, only 2 3-point attempts. Look at it going right at the bucket again.
And a drive, stop on a dime, and Yona Itzkovitz, the #1 scorer on the team. He averages 18 a game. That's his first points of the game.
2-point game, all predicated by defense and rebounding, and Thomas answers on the other end.
Yeah, big answer for Braylon Thomas. He's got 7, lead back up to 4. And a whistle, and we're going to have a foul in the back. No, we have a carry, in the backcourt. So that's turnover number 4 against Hillel. Coming up at the half, we'll have our LGKG halftime show. Let their law office of AV-rated attorneys and super lawyers guide you through the legal process.
Landon Eckert in the game, gave him good minutes against Rochester in the second half a week ago. Good to see that he was starting to get some extended time. There's another turnover.
That's the first official turnover against the Scotties, though. Yeah, with the number of times they've gone one and done, not being doing much on the glass.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at there.
Yeah,
is the one and done type of possession might as well be a turnover, especially if you're not doing your job on the glass. Then to just pitch that in the backcourt. This team's hanging around. They got some confidence.
Itzkovitz able to absorb the contact, but his shot is off the mark. Here goes Thomas the other way, poked away, got it back. His shot hanging in the lane, no good, and he's going to get called for the fouls. He got him on the arm on the way back up, going for the bound. That'll be Thomas's first. Team's first of the second quarter. You mentioned Landon Eckert. He's our health and motion newbie of the game, the only PT clinic to use newbie stimulator technology.
Union 1 of 5 to start the second quarter.
Driving coast to coast, hangs on the rim, but can't get it to go for Azagure. Scotty's coming the other way. Eckert thought about the 3. He'll back it back up and set the offense with 5:15 remaining in the first half. Blakely back up top for Eckert. Good patience. Skip pass over to Blakely. He'll fire. He'll knock it down. His second trifecta of the evening. His 40th of the year for Grayson Blakely, the senior.
And good ball movement by Union that time, too. And Blakely camping out in the corner, and Thomas, not worried about the height of Hillel, was able to make the crisscross pass.
And not worried about the height. It's interesting because the Itzkovitz brothers are listed at 6'4" and 6'5", and when Coach Eglash saw that on my roster sheet, he kind of looked and chuckled and said, yeah, those heights aren't quite right, are they?
Well, they're not quite right, but they're also more of like a swing 6'4". They're not that true post presence that you have to worry about. They're not a rim protector, so to speak.
Yeah,
you're not worried about wingspan and guys knocking balls down if you pitch them across the court.
Eckert, no good. Offensive rebound for Jonke. He's got a couple of those here in the corner. Another three-pointer off the mark, no good. Third chance effort is a handoff from Blakely to Thomas. I got Blakely with 4 offensive fouls, and now we have a whistle and a timeout. An official's timeout as they lost the yarmulke, and that's one of the things I wanted to see was how they kept the yarmulkes on. It looks like a couple have the kind of, what is that, the?
A couple of them have it clipped to
the
their
hair clip, yeah. But yeah, they play. This is the Jewish Orthodox school. They play with the full yarmulke. They observe everything very, very, very religiously. No pun intended. In all of the Friday night, Saturday, Sabbath escapades of reflection and of walking to temple and all that. 24-15 your scores. We hit the midway point of the second quarter. As Thomas loses it, kicks it back. No good on the shot. Fighting for the rebound. Can he save from going out of bounds? He cannot. Had his toe on the line.
Hillel Academy School in Squirrel Hill. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes or so from Newcastle, the Newcastle area, and Union High School. And some of us are familiar with that drive.
Some of us.
We make it a couple times a week. We have a full schedule, but listen, this team, the thing that I found interesting about them is that it's much deeper than basketball. There's a care about putting together a program, and I think Yoni Eglash is going to use this as a building block for himself too. Find out what he's made of as a coach. Find out if he can build a perennial playoff contender at this level, and if he can, at some point maybe he moves on to go coach somewhere else. But this team, again, you got a 6-man and a starter out, and one of them is out because of a mock trial.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before, ever, especially for a playoff game. This school's just like, hey, we have so many other things that we do, and these guys realize that they're not going to play basketball at the next level, that they're not going to be able to do this forever. There's other things that are important. We have other opportunities for our students. They're going to take advantage of that, and that says something about the character of these young men on this team.
And about the school as a whole, I think, as well. As I talked with one of the assistant coaches, Joel Varden, for Hillel before the game, and he was impressed with everything here at Union. He said, wait, you're the second smallest public school in the state? Are you kidding me? So it might be 3 or 4 now, but still they were impressed with what they've seen here. And it's not very often that we get to say that Union is not the smaller team in terms of school enrollment.
Isn't that the truth? How many did you say go to Hillel? 46?
46, I think, is what Joel told me before the game.
That's, I had second grade classes in elementary school that had 46 kids in the classroom.
Oh, we'll talk about educational nightmares there, as this one's poked away and stolen away by Stanley. Almost loses it back, able to get it up the court to Thomas.
Oh.
No look pass. How did he get that to Gunn? No good on the shot. Now just having fun there is Braylon Thomas. He's making some crazy passes look easy.
Well, that's what he does. I think we've seen him do that a time or two on the gridiron. Good to see Mike Gunn back on the floor tonight too. Missed that game against Rochester. And his presence, I think, would have been very useful for that team. If not just to have an extra body, but
he's a big rebounding threat, isn't he?
And he's sort of an enforcer. We saw him be that role on the football field, and I think that's a big presence for this Union team, and they were missing that against Rochester, and it showed.
Rebound trying to push up the court there was Yona Itzkovitz, and runs out of real estate as he was being guarded by Jonke. Well, one of the things I didn't get a chance to talk about in the pregame either is free throw shooting of the Scotties, one of the tops in the county. 72% as a team. Pretty impressive for a high school team to be shooting that well.
And think about the teams that haven't played in a venue like the Pete. If they get there for the final and then you start going to some of these bigger gyms with bigger backdrops for the rest of the PIAA tournament, you're going to face depth perception issues. That's important if you're locked in.
And one as Stanley got hit on the arm on the way up.
There's a lot of times when these schools, especially from out in the western part of the state, I remember a story back in 2003 when State College made the state tournament. They were looking for a school around Hershey, the Giant Center, in which they could shoot with a backdrop that wasn't right up on the basket. Like some of these smaller school gyms, especially you get at the 1A level or maybe 2A level, and they ended up finding one in Lower Dauphin, which had the backboard just kind of come out and jut out to the floor. There was about 20 feet, 30 feet between the backboard and the wall. They wanted to practice that because they knew free throws were going to be paramount when they play for a state title.
It's crazy how much of a difference that actually makes, as we're going to have a foul against Grayson Blakely as Azagure, again, no fear going right at him. I still can't believe, though, Erica, when Union played against Lourdes Regional in that championship game last year, how well both those teams shot from behind the arc.
That was sort of surprising, too. And then, you look at it from the other side. If you don't think that that's a factor, you see Azagure missed the free throw. If you don't think that's a factor, go sit at the top of that arena.
Yeah.
And try to call a game from up there where you and I have both been.
I'd rather not, but okay.
And it's, you have a better perspective of how high up that game, just the sheer size of that arena. And then you got to think about being down on the floor, and you're kind of just in this open space where there's nothing around you.
Yeah, you're playing in a hockey arena,
you're
really.
Right. The benches feel further away. The crowd feels way further away. It's not a normal environment if you're not used to it.
That free throw, by the way, from Noah Mazagure ends an 11-0 Scotties run here in the second quarter. High post to Galmarini. Thought about the foul line jumper. Instead, he'll flip it out for a Lucas Stanley three. Too strong, no good.
Pete's a little bit tighter of a venue. Duquesne's a little bit tighter. Duquesne's a very tight venue. Robert Morris might be the tightest of Division I schools you can find. That kind of reminds me of the old Rec Hall at Penn State, but that is a big factor that coaches are going to continue to work on and stress. You get some of these other schools like Altoona, depending on who you get matched up with, or maybe you're playing at some of the colleges where it's wide open.
Good baseline pass from Mazagure to Yona Itzkovitz. Now trying to go one-on-one against Thomas. Baseline drive. He got the step but couldn't get it up off the glass quickly enough. Kind of was shielded from being able to really get it up quickly as Thomas forced him to the baseline. Jonke backing his way in, kicks it back out to Blakely. Skip pass, extra one now to Galmarini. He'll try a corner three. Back iron, no good. Another rebound from Azagure. He looks to go 1-on-3. Fakes the pass, up and in. 9 for Noah Mazagure.
He is a great player in space, and he is an excellent cutter to the bucket. There's no tough angle for him with the layups.
Turnovers, that one went through the legs of Dane Jonke. It's a 10-point Union lead. I'll tell you what, Noah Mazagure reminds me a lot, in all honesty, of what we saw from Vinny Cagini last year. Not that Noam is the only scorer on this team, but he is definitely the prime suspect in terms of who you're going to look to score, and he's making some incredible plays.
He's an alpha. There's no question. Not the leading scorer on this team, but more of a take-charge kind of guy. And again, his fearlessness early in this game is why that was a 2-point game at one point. Remember, this was just 17-15 a couple minutes ago.
Yona Itzkovitz passed on the shot in the lane out to Azagure. His three ball off the marks. 0 for 3 from downtown for Hillel. Under a minute to play here in the opening half. Galmarini, right wing.
This game has sort of settled in more to Union's pace, and they look a little bit more comfortable on this side of the floor, which is good to see. Also rebounding the ball a lot better in the second quarter.
But another pass that goes off of the hands of Dane Jonke. Good hustle back from Braylon Thomas just to knock it away at the last second before Itzkovitz could go to the hoop. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout called by Union. Almost like it's not a true use it or lose it timeout called there by Mark Stanley, but that's essentially what he's doing there. Get Lucas back on the court with those 2 fouls for the final shot.
Yeah, dictate the outcome of this first half. Again, Union just seems a little bit more comfortable. They're definitely doing a better job on the glass here in the second quarter. They've kind of established themselves on the glass, and it's on the offensive side too. Yeah, they missed some shots, but we said it last night during our preview show about the offensive rebounding. The best time to shoot a three, offensive rebound, kick it out, let a guy shoot it. Nobody can react quick enough, and nobody's got a hand up in somebody's face if they're camped out. You look for those kick-out threes on those offensive rebounds, but get those extra possessions. Just keep the extra. Give yourself as many chances in a game as you possibly can. That's got to start on the offensive glass.
They engage with 10. Back up to Thomas, right wing, now high post. Stanley, foul line jumper. Hangs on the rim, doesn't go. Put back at the buzzer, won't fall either. That's the end of the first half. Union leading Hillel by a 28-18 scoreline. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll give you the first half scoring recap, and we'll also, of course, give you the rest of the LGKG halftime show. When we return, it's the WPIL playoffs at lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP.
Hey Scotty fans, it's Mrs. Ryan and Miss Felina here on behalf of the Union Area Education Association. And we want to wish all of our Scotties good luck this season. Go Scotties!
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale-Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
Congratulations to our January LCAP Team of the Month. The Lawrence County SportsNet proud to honor the Neshannock Competitive Spirit Squad as January's LCAP Team of the Month for their WPIAL 2A Large Squad Championship and third-place finish at the state competition. Congratulations to Coach Colleen Daughtry and the Neshannock Competitive Spirit Team, our January LCAP Team of the Month. When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas, specializing in auto, home, business, and life insurance. Come see Dan Pontius, Jessica Dix, and Tracy Giddings, and the rest of the team at Pontius Insurance, and receive the personalized service you deserve.
Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all the Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team, school, and family in how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for business and homeowners in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting projects for both residential and commercial projects. Call Joe today at 724-714-4294 to discuss your next project.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
Right now, someone very special needs your help. This is Jack Lynn, CEO of City Rescue Mission. No one is beyond God's love and care. One person's life can affect another. Though you may never meet this person, you can make a difference in his or her life. Hurting men and women in our community desperately need food, shelter, and physical and spiritual care. Some are struggling with abuse and addiction. They feel alone, unloved, and forgotten. Individual, caring people provide their hope. You can help change the lives of men, women, and children. Visit cityrescuemission.org and help us today.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenopleopole or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win, proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity is really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
When you're looking for quality concrete services, contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete services at prices that you can afford.
It's your LGKG halftime show. Visit them online at lgkg.com for your free consultation. They've been keeping promises for over 90 years. It's about twice as long as Hillel Academy has been around, Eric Thomas. And how about Hillel Academy sticking around here on the road in the opening game of this WPIL tournament? The 12-seed Heat trailing 28-18 here at the half against the two-time defending district runner-up Union Scotties.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with them, especially the first 8 minutes of this game. They haven't shot the ball great or overwhelming, I guess is a better way to put it. 7-19 in the first half. They only attempted 2 3-pointers, so their MO is basically get to the bucket, and I think that's a good job because Noam Azaguri has shown that he can pretty much do what he wants when he's anywhere near the rim. He's an excellent player for this team. Probably could use a little bit more scoring punch. We don't know what the depth issue and how that's affected them here tonight with the 2 players out, including 1 starter. Caleb Knoll and Yossi Cohen are the 2 that are out for them tonight, but Azaguri great with 9 points in the first half. Union in the first half shot the ball over 11-31. They were just 4 of 15 in the second quarter, 3 of 14 from 3-point range. Union doing a better job. They're rebounding the ball, and that's where we're starting to see things separate themselves a little bit, especially on the offensive end. Union doing a better job on the glass. Hillel doesn't have the oomph to hang with them rebounding the ball. So I think that's sort of why Union's been able to settle in this game. Union's still not as fluid an offense as you kind of would hope. Can they get away with that tonight? Yeah, okay, probably, but they're going to need to be a little bit sharper once this gets into the second week of the WPIL tournament. But they've played much, much better to me in the second half, looked a lot more comfortable.
Let's take a look at your first half scoring recap. It's brought to you by GEM, Master Builders, and Craftsman. Visit gembuilders.com for more information on their family-owned and operated general contractors for 4 generations. Leading scorer, Braylon Thomas and Lucas Stanley, each with 9 for the Scotties, 6 for Grayson Blakely, 3 for Dane Jonke, and 1 of 2 from the line for Mike Gunn. Noah Masagure leading Hillel with 9 points, Yoni Canal with 7, and Yona Itzkovitz coming in with a team-high 18 points per game, held to just 1 2-pointer in that first half to round out the Hillel Academy scoring. They have not gone to their bench, only 7 players available tonight for Coach Eglash and the Hillel Heat. Only 9 officially were listed on the roster to begin with for them. Union has played a total of 9 players here in the first half as well. There's your first half scoring recap. Again, brought to you by GEM, Master Builders, and Craftsman. 8 turnovers for Hillel, just 2 for the Scotties. Those one-and-dones in the first quarter, I think they were better with that in the second, attacking the glass, but a lot of those second-chance efforts or even third-chance efforts felt like just would not find their way down, though, and that has to be tough for any team to have to deal with, especially a high school team, not seeing those shots that should fall that aren't. Well, what is it that you say on the bench or in the locker room in those situations other than, hey, just keep on shooting?
Yeah, keep shooting and keep crashing the glass. If you're Union, keep crashing the glass because, again, they did a much better job in the second quarter. They only had 3 rebounds in the first and 11 in the second, so they really pounded Hillel in the second, 11-5 in terms of rebounds. So, to me, again, the easiest type of offense is offensive rebound and kick it out. Get it out to the perimeter. If you have guys that can shoot the ball, somebody who's in there rebounding, Union does, Blakely, Stanley, Thomas isn't shy about shooting threes, but if you can get those offensive rebounds, get your extra possession, kick the ball out. Teams do not react quick enough defensively when you kick it out after an offensive rebound. Look for that maybe a little bit more in the second half, and you have to keep shooting if you're the shooting style of team. It's just the way you get out of it. It's how do you get better at golf? You keep playing. How do you get better at anything? You keep doing it. So just keep shooting the ball, and you'll have a night where you're basically unstoppable, and I think that's what Union's trying to work towards right now.
Let's take a look at the brackets. Brackets brought to you by our Lawrence County Community Action Partnership, our powering sponsor. This is the only game going on not only in Class 1A boys, but in the entire WPIAL. The rest of these first-round matchups will be taking place over the weekend. And the reason why you have 3 teams tied for 4th place and all 6 teams from Section 3 in the playoffs is because those 3 teams, Hillel, St. Joe's, and Summit, all split with each other with that 2 wins each in section play. So that's why they are all in the tournament, and only the top 2 seeds ended up getting the first round bye. But it's going to be a potentially big one if Union can finish this game off, or if Monessen can do what we expect them to do. That's the 4-5 matchup I think everybody's expecting and could really enjoy seeing. But right now, you're also looking at the fact you're expecting to be seeing a Imani Christian versus Neighborhood Academy. That's what everybody's expecting to see. Question is who might be able to play spoiler a little bit.
Well, if it's Union,
Yeah.
again, going to have to shoot the ball better, obviously. You're going to have to rebound the ball a little bit better. But they've shown, and we know what they're capable of. And listen, if you're Union, get to the semifinal opposite of Amani, because if you do that, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be playing into March. And that's exactly what Mark Stanley and this team want.
Jonke able to re-corral it as Union gets first possession of the second half. Back up top to Andrew Gettings. It's a starting 5 on the court for both teams. That's all we've seen for Hillel Academy. Scotties with 4 seniors and a junior in the starting lineup, and 2 seniors coming off of the bench. Another pass down to the block. Jonke, double team, finds the cutter. Nice cut from Stanley, and a good find. Stanley, your first player, is in double figures.
Yeah, excellent job moving without the ball by Stanley, and a good find. Union's done a pretty good job tonight of passing the ball and working it around to find open players, but that was more predicated on Stanley just doing what he needed to do without the ball.
And I think also impressive, too. They took about 35 seconds on that first possession. Good patience for a team that likes to run and gun, but showing that they can slow it down and make the right pass and the right shot.
See how they're crisscrossing the court there? They're not worried, again, about that wingspan. They are finding passing lanes, zipping it across arc to arc, corner to corner, because there isn't anybody who can really get an arm up, and that wingspan isn't a factor defensively.
Jonke gets the offensive rebound on that three-point attempt from Thomas. His pass back out, though, got deflected and stolen away. First turnover of the second half. Only the third of the game committed by the Scotties. 12-point advantage. It's the largest of the game, actually, for Union.
You look across single A in the state, not a very deep state bracket is it going to be when we get to it. You're not going to have a potential knockout matchup like a Lincoln Park and Newman Goretti in 4A that you might see. I really think that the winner of this WPIL tournament, James, I think they're going to be the one that goes to the state final. I think it's pretty simple, and if it's Amani, shocker, they've been the favorite, one of the favorites all year.
Well, and you look at what they had last year. You had in the Western semifinals, you had Imani against Farrell, and you had Union against Carleton for the 4th time that year. So, I mean, that just, again, shows what the strength of 1A basketball here in District 7 has been.
And I essentially consider Farrell a Western, they're a Western PA team, but I consider them more a WPIL team anyway.
Well, they nearly were back in the WPIAL. But, they were given permission to leave District 10, but the recommendation to the state was not to go into District 7. That was what the WPIL directors put out there, and that's what it looks like it's going to be. So Farrell will be, for the time being, back up north in District 10 for next season. Good job by Hillel to maintain possession. Long shot there from Izzy Davidson, first player off the bench here for Hillel Academy. His shot no good. Thomas looked to go coast to coast, actually had his own teammate confused. He thought he was going up for the shot, and Gettings ended up having to go off his hands and out of bounds.
You see that defense by Union. Hillel hasn't made many threes. They haven't made any threes tonight. They've only taken a couple. They don't seem comfortable shooting from the outside. Everything's been at the bucket, so your defense, if you can lock them down on this end and make them shoot outside, that's what you want if you're Union. You want them taking lower percentage shots.
Another turnover. This one's going to go into the backcourt. Yeah, Yona Itzkovitz and Noam Azaguri, the two that have really shown that they can stroke it from beyond the arc. Azaguri with 9, Itzkovitz only 2 tonight, averaging 18 per game. We like to say hello to everybody who's watching from the Squirrel Hill area, the home of Hillel Academy. They play at the JCC down there in Squirrel Hill, does Hillel Academy, as Blakely goes and knocks down his 3rd 3 of the night. Well, we're glad that they can watch here for free at lcsportsnet.com.
It's a cool building, a neat area. Used to live near Squirrel Hill before moving a little bit ago, and that's a nice area, and this program doing a good job representing its student body, its school, and its area very well.
I said Izzy Davidson, I misspoke. He is not off the bench. He was one of the 5 starters. It is still the 5 starters who have been out there for the entirety here for the Heat. I love that, too. That's a very unique nickname.
You don't see that nickname a lot in high school. It's more of an AAU-type nickname or one of those, like, IMG-type program nicknames.
It's Itzkovitz off the mark there. Yona, the younger brother. Nate, big brother, wearing number 5, a senior, also out there on the court for Hillel. As this shot no good from Gettings. Backing his way in is Stanley. Good job using the body, putting it back up and in.
Yeah, he is a big factor inside tonight, and showing you a little bit of everything that he's able to do. Another turnover there for Hillel Academy. You're going back to the Farrell situation, and not to dive into it, but think about what the WPILs had to go through here in the offseason from football.
Braylon Thomas says, hang on a minute. Talk about this 3-pointer.
as Hillel's going to take a timeout. Go ahead and continue that fact.
I mean, so you have the Aliquippa situation, you have the Farrell situation, trying to get those things rectified. Then you have to go through your general moving and up and down the jockeying of all the classes and teams within, who's moving up, who's staying down, get those numbers done by football. You have 6 teams that go and play from the Pittsburgh area for a state championship in football. You have these nationally ranked teams in basketball, or national prospects in basketball, guys, you know, at places like Lincoln Park and all that. Then you have to sit down and put together brackets, and your committee has to figure out who goes where. I don't envy their job right now. And then you get all the backlash from everybody based on whatever on social media and all the things that go on during that.
Hey, here's a new one. How about this? The cheerleaders playing some basketball with the pom-poms. How many shots can everybody make? Oh, how about Mia Prue? Some way downtown. Couldn't get it to go into the CC Settle man-made basket up there. There's a new one. That's what we have. While we have a minute, you just talked about the committee for the WPIL pairings. Got to give a shout-out to Union Superintendent Mike Ross. He was on that basketball committee, and we believe we're still trying to get official confirmation, but we believe he is the first Lawrence County member to be on any one of those steering committees in any WPIL sport. So really, really, really cool to be able to see some North representation up here, because a lot of times Beaver and Lawrence County kind of get forgotten. With all the Allegheny County schools, it's not a huge surprise, I guess, that they would be getting a majority of it. But you like seeing some representation from all around the district.
No, you do. I think they still need to flip to a more power rating style system, make it a little bit easier for everybody, reward teams for their schedule.
I agree as well, though. The committee, this is probably the best set of brackets I've seen.
They got everything right. We talked about that. I don't think there was any issues with who was put where.
Another put back for Lucas Stanley, but this time he is fouled. He will get a pair of free throws coming up. And no, I'm not just saying that because my boss was a part of that committee, though that certainly helps. If he was at home listening right now, I would be saying they were the worst brackets of all time. First free throw up and good for Stanley. He's now got a game-high 14 points for the Scotties. Came in averaging 22.5 per game. He's one of, if I counted right, one of 5 players in the county who are in the top 12 in all of the WPIL in scoring on the year, as crazy as that is, Eric.
Well, scoring has been, and there's a nice swipe by Stanley and all the way to the bucket, and he lays it in. Scoring has been, it's been insane how many guys average. I think at one point we counted 37 guys that were averaging 20 or better in the WPIL this season. That's insane. The numbers are just up everywhere. Scoring is, and the level of play across all these classifications, for the most part, I don't think has been better. I haven't seen anything like that in my short time out here, and it certainly isn't like that in the home area where I'm from.
Beautiful baseline drive as Azagure gets himself into double figures. And that's the first points of the quarter for Hillel. That takes away what was a 13-0 Scotties run. Galmarini to Gettings. Now the extra pass into the corner for a Thomas 3. Short, no good. Follows his shot, but a good job to get there first by Yoni Canal, and that's going to give a foul to Braylon.
Every possession down the floor, Hillel's defense has forgotten about somebody in a corner or somebody has been open. Union hasn't gone to him every time, but there has been somebody open. They have moved this ball so well in this game, working it around, trying to find a good shot. That's a good recognition as Gettings is going to get picked up for the foul there.
Hillel with a 7-9 record coming into today's game. Their victories, Propel Montour, Cornell, who is a part of Union's section, beat them by 11. They split, as we mentioned, with St. Joseph's and Summit Academy. And then their other wins came at the Tasman tournament in Detroit, defeating the YOC of Toronto and Denver Torah of Colorado in that little tournament there in Detroit just a couple of weekends ago. So not a whole lot of WPIL victories on the year. Stanley tried to throw it out of bounds there off of Yona Itzkovitz. But we kind of alluded to it earlier. They've played 2 years in this section, and they've still not played on Monte Christian.
No, and they're going to have to get that worked out. We were sort of wondering what the deal with that was, looking at this game and getting ready for it. But it's more about the scheduling and when Amani was available to play. And I think you kind of want to play them. I don't care what the outcome is, but I think you want to play them simply because you got to find out where you stand against the best.
Third free of the night for Braylon Thomas, one of the best that we've seen in the history of Lawrence County football, showing he can get it done on the hardwood here as well.
And he's a leader too. And when we say quarterback on the floor, literally, quite literally, he is the quarterback on the floor for this Union team.
Good job getting on the floor by Yona Itzkovitz, but then ends up having it knocked out of bounds. Right in a 2.0 down there. Mr. Sidney Cohill running the cameras for us. He does all the light show that you saw at the beginning of the game. Just a sophomore here at Union High School. Having a lot of fun.
So I think that the winning that you have, look at some of the teams in the WPIL tournament. Look at Aliquippa, for instance, and all those guys from the football team that are on the basketball side. I mean, I know there's more than just those guys, but that mentality, it's easy to manifest at this, especially at the high school level.
Yoni Canal left alone down on the baseline, able to get the pass, get the shot in, trying to go on the other end, double clutch up, and one. Dane Jonke, how about that patience on the block? Got 1-2 defenders in the air, drew the contact, drew the harm. Now a three-point play opportunity again.
And he's been much, much more aggressive. He hasn't done a lot here in this game tonight. He's got 5, but he's done much more and shown much more aggressiveness in this game than he did against Rochester. He looked a little tentative in that Rochester game, and it's good to see that he is trying to assert himself. I don't think that's a byproduct of the opponent either. I think that's just him sort of recognizing, I need to be better if we're going to be going somewhere in this tournament, and he has shown up and done that tonight.
He's got 6, largest lead of the night at 25. This is a 10-point Union lead at the half, but they've exploded here in the third.
Look at him step out there defensively, and you know, he guards so much. He's able to guard so much of the floor. Another swipe by Stanley.
And it's poked away from him out of bounds. Good job just to let it go and maintain possession with just over a minute to play here in the third quarter.
You think maybe it's dangerous for this Union team to get away from the bucket, get your big away and have him step out and guard somebody, because they've done nothing but go at the bucket in this game. But Jonke, quick reaction, and this Union team has certainly played better defense. They have not allowed as much at the bucket here in this third quarter, and that's a good sign. They've got to adjust. They were able to find something to adjust to, and they were doing it here in the third quarter.
An athletic big. I mean, he's not your, I mean, kind of like you said about the swings type forward that you have for Hillel. He's very similar on the other end. So he works the high post back out to Thomas for another 3. His 4th of the night. He's got a game-high 18.
When you got that guy who's able to step out and shoot threes, he was doing it with the passing early in this game, and then now his shooting has shown up, and there's a nice little back door.
Yeah, a little Princeton style. Good bounce pass there from Nate Itzkovitz to Canal.
Hillel team, again, just excellent moving without the ball, excellent at getting to the bucket. So many moving parts in this offense, and they do a good job with their spacing. They're not jumbled up. They're not causing turnovers, throwing it into like the teeth of defense. They're just finding guys that are open and getting to the bucket. 3
seconds left. Galmarini, he's got the swing pass over to Stanley at the buzzer. Nothing but net. His first 3 of the night. No panic there from the Scotties as they put up a 25 spot in the third quarter and lead 53-24 at the end of 3. Back after this timeout, it's lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP.
Tired of gasoline costs? Why drive? Let the Newcastle Transit Authority take you where you want to go. Serving the city of Newcastle and stops throughout Lawrence County, as well as weekday service to Pittsburgh. Public transportation just makes sense. Why drive when you can relax and ride? For more information or for route schedules, log on to newcastletransit.org. The Newcastle Transit Authority, going your way. And remember, senior citizens ride free.
At Medore Bonner Law, we're more than just attorneys. We're your community partners. With a combined experience that spans decades, attorneys Jason Medore, Michael Bonner, and Greg Rossitelli are your trusted advisors for all legal matters. From personal injury to estate planning, business law to family disputes, we are here to guide you through every step of the legal process. Our full-service, community-based approach ensures that you're not just a client, but a valued member of our family. Give us a call or visit us online at MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
8 minutes on the clock, fourth quarter coming your way. Union with a 53-24 lead as we start the fourth quarter here at the Covelli Fieldhouse. The first game in all the WPIL. It was moved up 24 hours to accommodate the Jewish Orthodox School here of Hillel Academy. And they're not going to go quietly into the night as the first three-pointer of the night is hit by Yona Itzkovitz. Stanley trying to answer off the window, up and in on the other end. 55-27 the score now, but Itzkovitz came in with a 18 points per game average. That's only his second field goal of the night.
Yeah, first made 3 of the night, 2 for Hillel. They were 0 for 3 in the third quarter and 0 for 5 for the game before that. James Union shot 9 of 14 in that third quarter. That's why they were able to extend this lead so much.
Yoni Canal tried one from downtown, a little bit too strong. Another good pass inside, off the window, can't get it to go, and strong rebound there from Itzkovitz. But his outlet pass poked away. Blakely read it the whole way, poked it to Stanley, no good there. Itzkovitz trying to poke it right back and does. Gets it to Azagure, who's going to slow it down. 7 minutes remaining here in the first game of the tournament.
I think the other reason why Union's been able to play better here in the second half, they're crushing Hillel on the glass now. This was fairly even for a little bit. Union, though, another strong effort in that third quarter. They only had 5 rebounds, but a chunk of them on the offensive end, and they were hitting threes and all starting to click for this Scotties team.
I see Jordan Kelly check in for the first time, the 6'2 freshman. Saw him as a main part of Coach Nee's defense for the Scotties as a freshman, getting some varsity minutes here. Get his feet wet in the basketball postseason. Look out, though. Yona Itzkovitz says, I'm not done yet.
Well, and this is what you want to see if you're Coach Eglash. You want to see this team continue to play its game and fight and scrap. Again, outcome essentially doesn't matter. You're not, quote, supposed to win this game. And they're hanging around, they're hanging tough, they're showing what they're made of, and they're not backing down. That's a good sign.
Nice dribble drive there for Andrew Gettings off the window and in for his first points. So 5 of the 6 seniors in the scoring column now for the Scotties. Here on what will be their potential final game on their home court, as we're going to get a foul on the way up against Thomas to send Yanni Canal to the free throw line. It is possible when you get to the state tournament that you could be hosting games, but that's still a long way away. In Class 1A, by the way, the top 5 schools will make it into the state tournament, meaning all 4 semifinalists and then 1 of the 4 quarterfinal losers. And I'm glad that they're back to the way it should be with the consolation bracket, not the follow the leader garbage.
Yeah, the follow the leader thing is ridiculous. Semifinals, that's why I said earlier, if you're Union, just get to that game against Amani Christian in the semifinals. Just get there. That's the MO. Worry about the outcome of that when you get to it. Worry about the outcome of the rest when you get to it. But you're one of the Final 4. You're going to the state tournament. That's what this team wants to do. They know what they're capable of. Get to that semifinal, and that's going to be a big test in the next round.
Brad Windhurst giving a big nod of approval here to our right. Want to give a big shout out to him. He's getting his feet wet, trying to learn the system. Part of our friends down with ECS. They're actually going to be doing a couple of the Elwood City playoff games for us as well. And we're glad to have them on board here for the postseason run on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Elwood City have any good boys players?
Not really. I mean, they're all kind of average, you know.
Elwood City have anybody that can swim 8 miles and then go score 50 in a game?
He's only done that 50 only once. That's the only time it's happened in Elwood City boys basketball history. How about this for some Elwood City history next to us? Annie McColriak, the all-time leading scorer, boys or girls at Elwood City. She's coaching the Mount Pleasant boys team.
Saw that, yeah.
And guess what? They're coming up to Lawrence County. They're going to be taking on the Shannock in the first round of their playoffs coming up. We'll have that game on Monday night. So a real cool kind of welcome home coming back up north for Coach Annie.
Monday night's going to be a lot of fun. That's really this weekend. Tomorrow night and Saturday is when it gets serious. But you know, it's just one game tonight. But man, that slate on Monday night, we got a lot of really interesting matchups for the area teams. Mohawk McGuffey.
Yeah, that's the 2-15. Then you'll have the Shannock as the 4 against Mount Pleasant, the 13. And then 8-9, Washington hosting Elwood City.
You give me an atmosphere at Mohawk like we had for that in a Shannock finale the other night, and that's going to be next to impossible for anybody to go in there and deal with.
How about Dane Junkie? Nice job, followed his shot. I like how he kept it high, too, as he put it back up and in.
That's a good, strong move, what you like to see. He's playing with a lot of confidence tonight.
That could be a nomination for a Melee Chiropractic play of the game right there. As he swats it out of bounds with 4:14 remaining. Union 1 point away from potential mercy rule, and Hillel Academy, the Heat's going to bring in their first sub. This is Kobe Shaw, a freshman. You also see Noam Friedman coming in off of the bench. I want to give a shout out to Caleb Knoll and Yossi Cohen, who are the other 2 players not in attendance tonight that are on the roster for Hillel Academy. As you see Noah Masagure, the true leader of this team, top to bottom, literally
led this team almost into existence here, he's kept this team in it for a majority of this game. Glad to see him doing what he does, but unfortunately this will be his last game in a Heat uniform.
Still find it interesting that they don't put anybody on the blocks, and I'd love to know if, again, that's by design tonight because they have a shorter bench, or if they've done that all year long. That's an interesting strategy. Go back to that play that Jonke, when he knocked the ball out of bounds, how he followed the ball even though Stanley was with his man, and then he was able to just kind of slide over there and provide some extra protection and make sure that that pass wasn't going to go anywhere. That's what I'm talking about. He's playing with so much more confidence in this game tonight than what we saw a week or two ago.
Skip pass somehow gets to Galmarini. Again, he's the only senior who has not gotten in the scoring column tonight. Plenty for Braylon Thomas. That one, though, in and out. I have him as 4 of 7 from downtown here tonight, and that one, I think he's kind of surprised, as I am, that it didn't fall.
Those are such low percentage passes, but Union's found that success tonight because, again, they're not worried about anybody with wingspan defensively.
Yeah. And one, as absorbing the contact was Itzkovitz. He had 2 points coming into this corner. He's got 8, looking to make it 9 in this quarter alone.
Yeah, they're not backing down. The game seems like it's pretty much well in hand with 3:38 to go, but they are not backing down, Hillel Academy. That's been impressive to see. Again, it's character, it's building the program, it's taking those steps, not having success year 1, playoffs year 2, and then who knows in year 3, but they're going to have to piece together a roster and, really, whether it be because of other extracurricular activities or religious schedule, just not allowing for a lot of that off-season program type thing, but get that developed, get the off-season workouts going, maybe pop into a summer league somewhere and see if you can start building something.
Well, it also starts at the youth level, too. And when you have a crowd that decided to make the trip up from Squirrel Hill like this, that's a big part of it. And crowd not pleased with that call, thought it was a clean block from Itzkovitz, but he is going to pick up the personal and is going to send Jonke to the line.
I don't get the sense either, James, that Coach Eglash he seems like a patient guy. I mean, he hasn't been up and jumping around and going crazy on the sideline. He's been coaching his team. He's been trying to give him confidence. He's positive, when they come off the floor, just like we saw there, the substitution, giving his players high fives and, really just being a positive influence for him. I don't get the sense that he's in a hurry to do anything. If this takes time, he seems like he's willing to give it time, but if he keeps building this program and can lead this team to the playoffs again, there's going to be other schools that are knocking on his door trying to get him.
And a young coach as well, was hired at just 22 years old. And basically, in talking to the coaches before the game, it's him and a couple of friends who are, it's almost coaching like a rec league team is the way that they're feeling it. As this one's poked away, he's going to go in for a right-handed layup from Jonke. He's in double figures.
I see him playing half court and just coming up with a swipe. We weren't seeing that. He's got a big smile on his face coming up the other way. We weren't seeing that when they played Rochester. It was a frustrating night for him, and I'm glad to see he's been able to react positively.
How about that? He up and under, but can't get it to go for Azaguri. Bounce pass down low. Mike Gunn, he's going to work his way in, blocked from behind. Good hands from Nate Itzkovitz. Down to 2:15 remaining. Union has led throughout, though it wasn't easy in the first 16 minutes of play.
No, it really wasn't. This was a 2-point game at one point, 17-15. And Mark Stanley's able to get some subs in, which is good to see.
Yeah, 17-15. That was about a minute and a half into the second quarter, and then Union went on at that point, a 10-0 run to really put an end to that threat for the time being. And we're going to have Kobe Shaw check back out. Thought he was checking back in. Just over 2 minutes to play. Now he will make his way to the scorer's table. Get those freshmen some time. How about that? Again, that quick first step, Azaguri, as advertised, and then some.
Yeah, he's played very well, and again, said it early, fearlessness and attacking the basket. Union didn't have an answer for him at first. Kind of figured him out. They made this team take some uncomfortable shots in the second half.
Rocco Galmarini makes it. Everybody on the Scotties seniors getting a basket and getting points here tonight. His first right there. And 9 3-pointers made in the game, as Itzkovitz says, why not?
Yeah, another another great take at the bucket. I like the way that this team attacks the rim and not going their way tonight. And this is maybe gone as expected, but I just like the fact that this Hillel team is not back down, not shot away from what they want to do, and that's attack the basket.
Dom Kusatron was wide open down the block. He's not going to go back into the corner, but can't handle the high pass there from Kelly. Out of bounds for a turnover. Just over a minute to play. A couple more subs coming in. Evan Burns and Jaden Townsend checking in for the Scotties. Union will advance into the quarterfinals. That means you're guaranteed at least 2 more games with the next round and with consolation play, as Itzkovitz again. 15 of his 17 points have come in the fourth quarter here. Incredible.
Team not backing down. Oh, and Eckert.
May have gotten away with one.
Almost. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Good bounce pass into Kelly. Swings it out. Jaden Townsend for 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound there. Coming out the other way after the Shaw rebound. Coast to coast, no good from Azagure. Townsend will rebound with 20 seconds remaining.
And you can put a lid on it and start looking forward. And you made the key point. 2 more games.
And an extra day of rest as Kusatron went for downtown. Off the mark, no good. 10 seconds remaining as Hillel crosses the timeline. And Azagure see if he can get one more step back look at the buzzer, no good, and that's how, unfortunately, his career will come to an end. A great story, the Hillel Academy Heat. Their first ever playoff game in their second year in the WPIL, but they fall on the road in the first round. Union will advance with a 67-43 victory. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the post-game show and some awards to give out when we return at lcsportsnet.com, powered by LCAP.
I love what I do because coming in every day is different.
How can you not enjoy these kids coming up and hugging you and giving you these great smiles all throughout the day?
You guys ready? Seeing the progress that our kids make every single day is one of the reasons I love coming to school.
What should we do? We have fun.
LCAP Early Learning Centers is hiring. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County and become a superhero today. Apply at lcap.org.
GEM building contractors and developers have a proven record of performance on any size project. They bring value, local craftsmanship, expert management to meet any challenge. From design construction, from inspection to budget estimation, GEM Builder has been building our community for 70 years.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. Lawrence County SportsNet is proud to honor Casey Wilson of Laurel Wrestling as the January LGKG Red Zone Male Athlete of the Month for his pair of tournament wins and a 25-3 record on the mat this year. LC SportsNet is also proud to honor Aaron Capabo of Mohawk and Leah Crayrup of Wilmington as our January LGKG Red Zone Female Co-Athletes of the Month. Both Aaron and Leah eclipsed the 1,000 career point plateau last month. Congratulations, best of luck to Laurel's Casey Wilson, Mohawk's Aaron Capalbo, and Wilmington's Leah Crayrup, the LGKG Athlete of the Month, presented by the Red Zone. Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition. It's your Tri-County Principals post-game show coming your way here at lcsportsnet.com. And your first team advancing into the quarterfinal round are the Union Scotties with the 67-43 victory over Hillel Academy. I'm James Dotson with Eric Thomas alongside. Eric, first off, all props to Hillel. Nobody knew what really to expect. Not a whole lot of a scouting report on a team that's only been in the league for 2 years and really has essentially a brand new roster. A lot of players who had never even played the game of basketball before this year. They came out. Noah Mazagure, really impressive. Itzkovitz struggled early, but down the stretch was impressive. Union just overall, I think, a little bit too much and kind of wore out the smaller bench. Only 7 dressing tonight for the Heat.
Yeah, they really did, and Union did a better job on the glass, too, which I think was a big reason why they were able to separate themselves. They finished tonight 26 of 60 shooting, but second half, 15 of 29.
Yeah.
So much, much better shooting, but a lot of that is predicated on rebounding. They finished with 27 rebounds in the game. Hillel Academy, 21 of 52 shooting in the contest, and we'll get your rebound totals for you here in a second. But I really think that they played better on the glass. They shot the ball better. They were great distributing the ball all night long. But you got big shots from Thomas. You got big shots from Stanley. He looked comfortable tonight. Dane Jonke really looked comfortable tonight, and that's also a big reason why they had some success here.
Let's take a look real quick at your Creative Edge scoring recap here. Leading all scorers, Lucas Stanley with 23 points. 11 for Dane Jonke, as you just mentioned. Braylon Thomas, missed him. 18 points, including 4 from downtown. Grayson Blakely with 9. Galmarini with 3. Gettings with 2. And Gunn with 1, as all 6 seniors in the scoring column here tonight for what could potentially be the last game on their home court for Union. 3 players only in the scoring column. Yona Itzkovitz leads with 17 points, 1 under his average on the year, and 15 of those 17 came in the fourth quarter. Azagure and Yoni Canal each with 13 points to round out the Hillel Academy shooting on the night. 67-43 is your final score. We need to take one more timeout. We come back, we'll give out our post-game awards, your MVP Insurance MVP of the game, and your Melee Chiropractic Play of the game. That's when we return. It's the LC SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
When it comes to shopping for insurance, there are thousands of options out there. MVP Insurance proactively shops and compares your policies to find the best coverage and rate. Josh Mathur and David Verratti want to provide you with the level of personalized service that you know that you are the MVP of their agency. They simplify insurance so you can live stress-free. Visit one of the locations in Xenia Leopold or in New Springfield, Ohio. Call MVP for the win, proud sponsor of the MVP of the game on the Lawrence County SportsNet.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $30 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapy is necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
Welcome back to the post-game show here from Union High School. James Dotson will rejoin me here in a moment. He's got some official statistics for us. Union wins it tonight by 24, 67 to 43, and they are on to the next round of the WPIL tournament.
A couple additional stats wanted to throw along. Braylon Thomas ended with 18 points, 6 assists on the night. Dane Jonke, 11 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists.
let's just get right into it. His play tonight, well worthy of our MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Just talk about the difference from 1 week ago to tonight that you saw from him.
Yeah, they really needed a rim protector in that game against Rochester. That term probably was a little bit overrated, overused in basketball, but they had so many baskets. They were penetrating to get to the bucket, much like this Hillel team was tonight. Now, there's a difference in how Rochester does it compared to how this Hillel team. Hillel doesn't have great shooters. Rochester does. They could step outside and shoot. But where Union had the problem in that game was rebounding, and they were a non-factor on the glass in that game. And that's a big reason tonight why Union was able to flip the script a little bit in the second half, shoot better in the second half, rebound better in the second half, all because Dane Jonke played with a lot of confidence in this game, and that was lacking when we last saw him against Rochester.
So here's your MVP Insurance MVP of the game. He just received his customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of being tonight's MVP of the game. You can view the full list of team MVPs by going online to lcsportsnet.com. Click on MVP of the game. Congratulations, Union's Dane Jonke, tonight's MVP Insurance MVP of the game. Let MVP call MVP for the win. Again, 11 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists for the senior. As for your Melee Chiropractic play of the game, the play of the game, in all honesty, Eric, happened back in February and March. A year ago, February and March, that is, because that's essentially when this program was able to build based from what one guy did in Noah Mazaguri, the only man at practice for basically 2 months straight, according to Coach Yoni Eglash. And he was just everything we talked about. We saw it in the Trib Live paper, the newspaper article last night. Just talked about what this kid was able to do, go and recruit literally players to come out and said, yeah, we'll come next year. And then next year became this year. He's the reason why this team was here, and he kept that team in the game. A lot of great drives early in the game. I can't say enough. I was impressed with that kid today, Noah Mazaguri, the senior. Unfortunately, the last time we'll see him on a high school court, but that was a lot of fun watching him tonight. He's going to get our play of the game shirt.
Really was, and this was a 2-point game at one point in the first half. This was a Hillel team that kind of found its footing after being down 8-0. They attacked the basket. He was a big reason why. He kept going at the Union defense early in this game. Showed off some skills with some of the up and under moves and reverse layups, but really just showed what a great basketball player is. Moved very well without the ball, and when they put the ball in his hands, he showed a pretty good amount of explosion to get to the bucket. So I don't have any question that he was one of the best 5 or 6 players on the floor tonight without question.
So he will receive your Melee Chiropractic Play of the Game T-shirt. Melee Chiropractic, let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game, and we'll be proud to honor him when getting that his picture up there on the website for the rest of the year as well. Hillel finishes the year with a 7-10 record. Union now at 13-10 on the year, and they will advance to take on either Monessen or, I lost my bracket in front of me, one of the other teams that had the tie in the section. It is Summit Academy, Monessen against Summit, going on tomorrow night. The quarterfinal round will be taking place at a neutral site on Wednesday, site and time to be determined. But we expect it will be Union Monessen, and that will be another great battle between the Scotty Dogs and the Greyhounds.
You look at it from a Union perspective, James, you have for sure 2 chances to get to the state tournament. You might have more if you play your cards right. That's a big, big step for this program here tonight, trying to get back in that state tournament. They have the pedigree, they have the players. Now they have the opportunity, and that's really all this team, I think, needed and wanted, and they've got to make the most of it. Not going to be an easy second-round matchup, but you get through that, you're guaranteed to be in the state tournament. That is a huge, huge thing for this team. There is a winning culture in this area. Football gets to the state final. The girls' basketball program a season ago. There is a sense of winning. We see all the banners that hang up, a sense of winning that permeates in the halls here. And this boys' team, and especially the girls' team, are looking to try to carry that into March once again.
Big thanks to everybody here. Obviously, Dr. Ross, Coach Nee, everybody here. Coach Stanley, thanks for him talking to us. Coach Eglash as well for all their information. Great crew that we had on tap here tonight. Rob Nattel, Asher Pistachio running cameras. We had help from Sydney Cohill helping out one of our students here at Union High School. Josh Toman assisting as well. Our producer tonight was Mr. Matthew Flannery. We had some pinch hitting work getting him his feet wet here. Big thanks, Brad Winhurst. They're going to be busy with us with the Elwood City games coming up over the weekend as well. Can't say enough about the crew we have here at the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. For the entire crew and my broadcast colleague tonight, Eric Thomas, I'm James Dotson saying so long and stay tuned, because we got 7 more games coming up
all the way through the weekend here in the first round, going through Tuesday. You can catch them all right here at lcsportsnet.com. Lawrence County SportsNet is powered by LCAP.
Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.